Hey guys, it's Bailey. Welcome back to the channel for a monthly beauty favorites where I talk about all of the products that I've been loving in the month of December. This is the fourth time now that I've tried filming this. It's been a week since I sat down to film anything because of traveling for the holidays. I did not prepare adequately, and so here I am back at it, and pretty much everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. The first time my mic wasn't plugged in and I got all the way through the video, went in to edit it, no sound. Then I looked orange, then the battery ran low. It's just been a wild ride, but I can feel this time this is gonna be it. So let's go ahead and hop into everything. The first thing I wanna talk about are the eyes. I am wearing the palette that I've been loving for the majority of the month. It is the Viseart Sultry Muse palette. A lot of you guys might remember that I've talked a lot about the deep or dark matte palettes when I first got it in a Sephora haul, then it quickly made it into a favorites video, and then most recently it landed in my top matte shadows video, so you should go check all those out if you're curious and learning more about it, but I feel like I've talked about it enough. The focus is going on the Sultry Muse palette. Muse Beauty Pro, separate from the name of this palette, musebeautypro.com I think, or a website called Muse Beauty, was having a sale on these where you could get 2 of these palettes and 3 brushes from another brand that they carry for a relatively good price. They are still pricey palettes, but it sure beat buying 2 at full price. So I went ahead and took advantage of it and picked not only this one up, but also this little Brights, the editorial palette, very, very bright, but at a request of someone who wanted to see a comparison between this and a more affordable palette that I'll talk about here in just a second. But back to the Sultry Muse palette. For those of you who thought that the dark matte palette might be a little less wearable for you, especially every day, this might be your sweet spot. Now granted, there are no mattes in this. This is really strictly satin, shimmer, some of them are even downright glittery, but overall the shade range is much softer. There's a little bit more range between the light, there's like a light pearl, light champagne, mid-tone taupe, all the way to a deep chocolatey brown and deep burgundy, which is especially why I've been loving it for the holidays, because the golds and coppers and burgundies just scream like Christmas and New Year to me. So I've really been loving this. The shadow quality is entirely consistent between this one and the dark mattes, and the same can also be said for the editorial mattes, although I just haven't really found the right occasion to wear this, but I've really been loving this. And this, when I got these, it's actually not the first sale I've seen these in, because I know that's kind of a huge hurdle for a lot of people out there when it comes to these palettes. Normally, at least at Sephora anyway, they retail for $80. Not an inexpensive palette, although it is, as a lot of you guys have pointed out in the comment section, comparable to building your own palette when it comes to, you know, what is considered a relatively affordable brand like Makeup Geek. So I think it all comes down to what you value more and what's going to be best for you. But recently, especially with the holidays and New Year's and sales and all that kind of stuff, these guys have been on sale. First on Muse Beauty Pro, which is where I got these, and then Alcone had another sale where they were $50 or $49 a piece. Now they're currently also, well, they were all sold out. I don't know if they've restocked and have since gone back up to the original price, but the sales do happen. So I tried to share all those on like Facebook and Twitter and kind of everywhere I could. So be sure and follow if you're ever looking for those, but just keep your eyes peeled. If you've been wanting these and you just can't take the $80 price point, they do go down to something that's a little bit more reasonable, and I have to say, after having tried even more palettes from them, I think they are totally worth it. But a few of you have asked me to compare them to the new Morphe palettes, the 12 pan palettes. This one, I got all 3 of them. They literally just came in today, so I truly can't tell you anything about them because I haven't even swatched them yet. But this is the 12S palette. It's probably the closest one to the Sultry Muse palette. There might be some shades that are dupe, but it's definitely not going to dupe the palette overall, but it could get kind of close. The one that I explicitly had a request for, though, is the Editorial Brights palette with the Morphe 12P, which is considerably more comparable. You're missing some shades here, but for the most part, very, very similar. So I'm gonna give these a swatcheroo and hopefully feature them in a dupe or dud video to come sometime soon. But in the meantime, I have really been loving the Viseart Sultry Muse palette. Now moving on to some products for the rest of the face. I have not had a chance to review these yet, only ever mentioned them on Instagram, but they are the Cover FX Custom Infusion Drops, and there are 4 different kinds. I use the C+ Lemongrass, which is for radiance. Smells, has that kind of a lemongrassy smell, so refreshing. But they also make some for dryness, anti-aging, and recovery, or like repair calming, I believe. And so, but I've been using the Radiance, and these are basically like a skincare essence that you you mix in with your foundation, or you can mix it in with other skincare products. I've been preferring my foundation and finding that it is making all the difference. And I'm like, not only are you guys complimenting me on my skin, but I'm also getting comments in real life, which to me is a huge indicator that it not only looks good in camera, but also in person. So for the past few videos, not right now, but for the past few videos, I've been wearing a mixture of these drops along with the Caudalie Vino Perfect or Vino Perfect. It's just a broad spectrum SPF, and I do use this in addition to my daily SPF. It's Paula's Choice. I recently did a video showing you a holiday skincare routine. So I use this for this mixture apart in addition to that SPF, and then I mix both of those in with my actual foundation, which are the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops. Now, I have applied them most frequently with this mixture, but I've also just mixed these drops in with the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation. It was a little too light for me though, so I did have to switch to something a little bit deeper, which were the Custom Cover Drops. By the way, my shade is N30 here. When I first talked about these and used them in a tutorial, I think I was using a shade or two lighter, but this is a little bit closer to my. And then today I've actually used these or mixed these drops in with the Elsie Cosmetics, which you guys know absolutely love. I have found it works well with all of them. When I posted this on Instagram, I did maybe a few people said that they had experienced some separation, and I'm sure that is the case. You know, they might not play well with all foundation formulas. I've only tried them with those three. I have not personally experienced any separation. I mix the three together, apply them directly with my fingers, and then blend in with a nice big fluffy brush. I do set my under eye area with a powder like I always do, but beyond that, I get this glowy, dewy radiance, and it stays that way all day. It really doesn't affect the lasting power of my foundation, and I do only use 2, sometimes 3 drops, so that might be another variable that affects how it performs with whatever base you're using. But something to be aware of, that person recommended just applying it as a serum under your foundation, which I also have been doing as I was traveling. I didn't bring along my full skincare routine, and so this was kind of my main squeeze moisturizer, and so I definitely did that. I didn't find I got as much of a glow. By the way, I'm not wearing any highlighter. This is all this today. Didn't find I got this kind of glow when I applied it under my foundation, but it just depends on your preference and how it performs with your preferred foundation or base of choice. I do want to go a little bit more in depth with these in a separate review. I haven't tried the other drops though, just because I don't think dryness is going to be for me. Anti-aging, I really rely mostly on SPF for anti-aging, but I might give the calming a go and then do a separate video review. Let me know if that sounds good to you guys below if you want more information on these, but I have just been loving this, especially, you know, during winter when your skin can get kind of dull and dry. I have combination skin, so, and especially now in Texas, dryness isn't really a huge issue for me, but just generally dull, this has been reviving it. Another face favorite, and this I have done a review of, is the Laura Mercier Bon Mine palette. It's basically an all-in-one bronzer, blush, highlight palette. Today I am wearing the bronzer and then the lighter of the 2 blushes, but like I said, I've done a separate video and demo within that video of this if you want more information. But especially with, you know, traveling for the holidays, it's a full face in one, and these last beautifully on me, and they give me that, they really complement the Custom Cover Drops kind of radiant effect because of their cream finish. A lot of them are kind of dewy finish. They don't dry down super completely, but they don't remain tacky, and so I think because they're not a complete cream to powder formula, they do leave a little bit of that radiance sitting on top of your skin. I have been loving it. And then to apply that, at least the bronzer, because I think it's worth mentioning because it's such a good bargain, I use the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. And like I said, in the video review of this, I do a demo showing you how I like to do it, but this has gone hand in hand with this palette and applying that because it just does so flawlessly. I think it has to do with the shape of the dome shape of the brush, in addition to the density of the bristles. It just picks up product and lays it down really evenly. And then the fact that these are so densely packed makes it very easy to buff things in without disturbing the base underneath. I find I pat more so because these are cut the way they are. It just doesn't leave brush strokes, even though you're not really buffing it in. I'm just like to lightly tap it. No brush strokes, no kind of streaks across the face. It looks awesome and stays all day. And this guy isn't more than like $8, I want to say. So total bargain find. Up next are some liquid lipsticks. I have been trying a ton of liquid lipsticks because I want to do something similar to my top matte shadows, but top because there's so many new ones coming out and a lot of good old ones that people are unaware of because the new ones are kind of taking the spotlight, but have been trying liquid lipsticks like crazy, and these are those that I have been loving. Two are from Milani. I've talked about these repeatedly, not only in a review, but they've also landed in at least one other favorites video. They just are perfect for the holidays. I'm wearing the Amore Matte Lip Cream in Romance right now, but then I also absolutely love the shade Flirt, which is a deeper kind of burgundy, which is also good, but the Romance just seems a little bit more festive and holidays, so have been loving both of these. But in trying so many different liquid lipsticks, I have found that although this is a great formula, I don't know that it is the most hydrating, or I guess non-dehydrating, since it's kind of hard for a liquid lipstick to be hydrating. These aren't the least dehydrating, if that even, you know what I'm trying to say, but also they don't have like the best wear time. It's good, especially for the price. Like, these are such a bargain price, and they recently announced that they're going to be a permanent formula within the Milani line, and they've also recently launched a lot of new colors into the line. I have not personally seen them in drugstores, but I have seen other people posting about them, so keep your eyes peeled if you missed out on the first wave of these, because there are a ton of new shades hitting drugstore shelves. But back to what I was saying, in trying a lot of other different formulas, I have found that these aren't necessarily my favorite, but they are pretty stinking good. And at least the colors that I have are pretty hard to dupe from all the other formulas I have. What I think might be a slightly superior formula, although it is also more expensive, is the Ofra liquid, long-lasting liquid lipstick, and I have the shade Americano. If you watch my recent December BoxyCharm unboxing, you will have heard all about this. It was one of my favorite products in the box, and I was just so impressed with this formula. It's been out for forever. Kathleen Lights has talked about it a lot, and I just had never tried it, and now I like have 3 new shades in my basket because this is such a great formula. Unlike the Milani, it's a little bit of a thicker consistency. It's closer to a mousse, although not completely a mousse, if that makes any sense. So I personally think it's a little easier to apply, a little less prone to streaks, and then it dries pretty fast, and then it stays glued to your lips all day. And I'm talking like through even some of the hardest wear, eating, drinking, kind of more difficult foods like maybe salad dressing, oily salad dressings, things like that. This is a steadfast lip formula, and it's very, very comfortable on the lips, a little less drying than the Milani. Also, something that I was totally unaware of when I filmed that BoxyCharm video, but a lot of you guys let me know in the comment section, is that Kathleen Lights has a coupon code. I think it's just Kathleen40, and it takes 40% off of your order, because these are nearly $20, or like $19.50, if not $20, and so that 40% is a huge chunk of change you get to shave off. So that's awesome to know. Thank you guys for sharing that. Hopefully a lot of you other guys can take advantage of that as well, because these are so amazing. And then I've also been loving a product that perfectly complements those liquid lipsticks. It is actually a lip product remover from e.l.f. I don't know the exact name because oddly enough they didn't put it anywhere on the packaging. It's on the box that it came in, but nowhere to be seen. Woo! There it went. On the actual tube. But basically it's a clear gel that you apply either directly. I mean, it does have kind of a lip dispenser thing here. You can apply it directly. You use your finger to massage it in a little bit, let it set for 30 seconds, and then wipe it off with a tissue or whatever you have handy and don't mind getting ruined with liquid lipstick. And it takes it off like magic. It's absolutely amazing, especially since I have been wearing and trying so many liquid lipsticks. There will come a time when I just need to remove them, and like the center of my lips will be gone from wear and tear, but the perimeter is like there to stay. This has been an absolute treasure, and it's so stinking affordable. They sent this to me along with quite a few other new products they have, including their 4-pan like illuminator palette, the thing that's supposed to dupe the Hourglass ambient lighting powders, a new artist eyeshadow palette, I believe, some new lip exfoliators that are great, and I just haven't had time to review them. If you guys want to see like a kind of overview video of all those products, definitely let me know. If you want to see kind of individual product reviews as I get to them, let me know that in the comments below. But they basically have a lot of new products that I'm slowly but surely getting to, and this was a fast favorite, especially with the liquid lipstick craze that is going on right now. And last, I feel like with all favorites videos, I have droned on and on, but I cannot go another video without mentioning another favorites video anyway, without mentioning this, because I alluded to it in my last favorites and a lot of you guys had questions. It is a self tanner from the brand Naked Skin. It is their Gradual Glow Daily Tan Moisturizer. There is no shade. It says it suits all skin tones, and this is very similar to like a Jergens lotion after shower sort of deal where you apply it, you let it soak in, and then you're good to go. I've mentioned a product from Naked Skin before. It's more like a spray that you need a mitt to apply. It's so long lasting, it sinks in immediately. You don't have to worry about it coming off on clothing, or my biggest problem is that it would come off like I'd have a ring around my ankles where I'd like work out and it'd come off on my feet and nowhere else. It didn't happen with that stuff, but this I find is a little bit more convenient because you don't need the mitt. This is like this clear, odorless lotion, truly odorless, not like minimal scent or minimal odor. You can't smell a thing. It truly is moisturized and you don't need to put on anything else over top. You really don't even, I don't find a need to exfoliate all that much. Like I am kind of negligent when it comes to my knees and elbows, especially for as much as I self tan. And this stuff is very kind when it comes to those areas. So, and super fast to apply, doesn't come off on stuff, sinks in very quickly, because who has time to wait around for mousse and gel or whatever to sink in and wipe off and all that kind of stuff. This will help get a gradual tan. I find that 2 applications, like 2 consecutive days, bronzes me up good and proper and lasts like that for well over a week. I have not needed to repurchase a bottle of this yet, or purchase period. They sent me this bottle. I will repurchase once this is empty, but I have purchased it for somebody else. They asked me what I was using to self tan. I told them, and then I happened to be out and about one day without them and just went ahead and picked it up. It is that good. It's amazing, and it's not expensive. I found it at Ulta for 14 bucks, I want to say. It's a pretty huge bottle for that price, so it's very affordable, and I think you can use coupons on top of it because it's not considered like a prestige brand. Bonus. So yeah, this is what I've been loving. For those of you who are asking when I just left you hanging in my last favorites video, this is it. So that's it from me. Those are all the beauty products that I've been loving in the month of December, and as usual, I would love to hear everything that you guys have been loving in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye guys.